Congratulations, first of all, on choosing the Banking, Insurance and Financial Markets program with TAPMI Digital. By choosing this very specialized, highly focused program, you're already part of an elite number of executives and managers in this country for sure, but also globally, who are super specialized and trained for handling all kinds of different contexts in banking, insurance and financial markets. Now, as this elite group of highly trained professionals that are going to enter into industry, you will realize that business never happens in a vacuum. So businesses and organizations always they participate and they play the so-called game of business in a context. Now, so how do we understand this context? And we say that the context can be described in several different ways, and one of the ways that we do it is by referring to it as the business environment. Now, how can we think about the business environment? We can think about the business environment as including, on the one hand, demand factors, right? So a very important starting point in any sort of problem solution in business is we say, are we fulfilling a need? Is it a need that a substantial number of customers have? Is it a need that substantial number of customers would pay substantial amounts of money on a regular basis to have solved? Now, so that's the demand side, right? Also the sophistication of the customer. So we know more and more that customers, especially in services, like banking and financial services and insurance and so on, are very, very sophisticated, and they demand the sky, the moon, the stars and the earth and everything else in between from service providers. So that's something that we need to know. Second thing is what constitutes the business environment is what we call supply conditions. So do we have what it takes to be able to fulfill what the market is asking for? So do we have skilled professionals? Do we have the advantage of location? Do we have the infrastructure? Do we have the communications wherewithal? Do we have the basic ability to produce the product? So factor conditions. So do these exist? Right? We also think of business environments as who are the other players in the market or industries who are required to be there for us as the focal industry to be able to thrive and to become competitive, not just nationally but also internationally. Finally, the most important aspect that we need to study in terms of business environments is the competitive environment. So who are we competing against? So who are our direct competitors? Who are those competitors that we don't know so far? These are entities that are preparing to come into the industry and so on, but at the moment we have no clue who they are. And they are going to bring a whole lot of uncertainty that we are not sure of what they are at the moment. And of course there are substitutes, meaning are there other products and services out there that fulfill the same need to our customers that we do, right? So it's extremely important that we understand the competitive environment in which we operate. So this is what we call the structure of industry and the structure of rivalry, the nature of rivalry and competition. Now overall, so as managers, as middle managers and soon to be senior managers, you will all be expected to make these decisions, either make these decisions on your own or help your superiors make these decisions. And these decisions can be of several types. So it could be we are present in the value chain, we are present in certain links of the value chain. Should we extend our footprint either away from customer or towards customer? What is the role of technology? Can we transform our business? Should we grow organically or inorganically? So which would mean do I expand my existing business? If I do, am I going to new product areas? Am I going to new geographies? And if I'm going to grow inorganically, which means am I going to acquire? Am I going to buy entities and therefore grow? And if I'm going to buy, then where will I buy? What sort of entities will I buy? What sort of capabilities am I looking for? Am I looking for intellectual property? Am I looking only to acqui-hire? Meaning, am I only interested in the people that work in that company that we want to acquire, or are there other assets that we are interested in? So the list goes on. So this is mergers and acquisitions, for instance, right? We also might say there is no need to acquire. Let us simply ally with someone. So if it is a strategic alliance, now how do you decide whether to ally, where to ally, how to ally, right? The other thing, the questions that you will constantly be asked to answer by your superiors and so on, is the fact that can we go into new product areas? Can we diversify, right? So how do you decide whether we should diversify in an area which is connected to the existing business or an unconnected business? How connected, right? So this is another question that you have to answer. So I guess you would have sort of understood now that the thrust of what I'm saying is as managers, even within a particular field, which would be, say financial services, banking, insurance, and so on, you are constantly working with clients. And your clients can be from any industry, anywhere in the world, right, any scale, and so on. Now, how do you make sense of this variegatedness in the external environment that you have to deal with? Right? So this will be the thrust of the course that we call Strategy and Competitiveness. So this is the course that will make you prepared for this extremely complicated, confusing business environment that you are functioning in. Right? So this is the course that will help you make that decision. So do you want to be a visionary? So do you want to be the market leader? Do you want to be that company which is going to set the pace for the industry? Do you want to be, on the other hand, do you want to be a shaper? Do you want to be the kind of company which will get together, which will cooperate with other competitors and say together, and have a shared vision and create the future of that industry? Or will you be more a classical player where you say that you have an understanding of how the market is going to pan out over several years, and that over a period of time you can apply the same strategies and so on that you've been applying in the past. Now that's a rare possibility. What is more and more the reality is that you have to be nimble, you have to be flexible, your ability to adapt to change is perhaps the most important capability that you need going into the 21st century. So in this course, though it's a short one, so in this course, this is what we will do. We will co-create these solutions in the context of each of your own realities. So we will take the cohort, we will understand where each of us come from, the different experiences you've had, the different educational backgrounds, the different professional experiences that you would have had, the different problems and so on that you would have faced in the marketplace. So we will actually take these situations that have bothered you or that have intrigued you or challenged you, and we will find solutions to them as a group. My job will be to facilitate and bring the best out in you, and to dig into my own experience and to help you get to those solutions. My name is Ishwar Haritas. I am Associate Professor here at TAPMI. I teach strategy, sustainability, and international business. I also run the TAPMI Center for Entrepreneurship, Inclusive Growth, and Competitiveness. I have in total about 20 years of working experience now in the last 3.5 years here at TAPMI as an academic. But before that, I have worked for industry at the highest levels. I used to work at Deutsche Telekom at the world headquarters in Bonn. After that, I've done 10 years at the United Nations, at the WTO, at an agency called the International Trade Center, working on strategies with several governments in 15 different countries. And before that, I've worked in India, in Bangalore mostly, but also in Delhi and in Singapore, so in Southeast Asia. So this is the varied experience that I have that I will bring into class. And I'm most eager also to, like I said, bring your experiences into class. So the proposition that what I offer you in my course is basically that we will all come together, use all our experiences, and solve problems. Right? Welcome, and I look forward to seeing you here.